Hey everyone, so welcome to this video, and in this video we'll solve one problem of bit manipulation. Okay, so the problem statement is you just have to input any number, let's say n, and you need to check whether that number is power of 2 or not. Okay, power of 2 or not. So let's say if I input any number like 74. Okay, so here in this case 74 is not the power of 2, so you need to print no. Okay, now let's say if I input 16, so now 16 is actually power of 2, so here in this case you just need to print yes. Okay, so this is the problem statement. Okay, so let's say if you are a beginner and you are not familiar with bit manipulation and bit masking, so what will be your approach for solving this problem? Okay, let's discuss that first, and after that we'll solve this problem using bit manipulation. Okay, so what will you do? Let's say n is the input number. Okay, so you will create a while loop and continuously divide n by 2. Okay, so let me write it as n by is equal to 2. Okay, and inside the condition of while loop you will check that whether n percentage 2 is equal to 0 or not. Okay, so let's say if I input any number like 8. Okay, so the condition is true because 8 percentage 2 is equal to 0. Now here the value of n becomes 4 because 8 by 2 is 4. Again we are at starting point of while loop. 4 percentage 2 is equal to 0, it is true. Okay, now the value of n becomes 2 because 4 by 2 is 2. Now we are at starting point of while loop. 2 percentage 2 is equal to 0, condition is true. Again the value of n becomes 1. Okay, and now the condition becomes false. So outside of while loop you can write it as if the value of n is 1, then in that case you will return yes or true. Okay, and if the value of n is not 1, so in that case you can return false. Okay, so this is the basic approach for finding whether the number is power of 2 or not. Okay, so let's say if I input 5 here. Okay, if the value of n is 5, so the first condition is 5 percentage 2, which is not is equal to 0. Okay, so this condition becomes false, so will not go inside this while loop. Now here the condition is if n is equal to 1 or not, so the condition is false, so it will simply return false to the function. Okay, so this is the basic idea that how you can check whether the number is power of 2 or not. Now let's see the bit manipulation approach. Okay, so let's take any number, let's say n. Okay, and the value of n, let's say 8, and 8 can be written in binary as 1000. Okay, 1000. So we just make use of bitwise AND operator. Okay, bitwise AND. So what we need to do, we need to check this condition n, and this is bitwise AND operator, and after that we need to write n minus 1. Okay, and we need to check whether this value is 0 or not. So if this value is 0, so in that case the output is yes, means n is the power of 2, and if this value is not 0, then in that case n is not the power of 2. Okay, so let's say if n is 8, so n minus 1 is 7, right? N minus 1 is 7, and 7 in binary can be written as triple one. Okay, triple one, and I'm writing 0 here. Okay, now if I take AND of these two numbers, so the first one is 0, second one is again 0 because 0 and 1 is 0, third one is also 0, and fourth one is again 0, right? So here the output is 0, so this condition is satisfied, so n is power of 2. Let's take another example. Let's say the value of n is 5. Okay, 5, and 5 in the binary can be written as 101. Okay, So the value of n is 5, and the value of n minus 1 will be 4. Okay, and 4 in the binary can be written as 1 0 0, right? Now if I take bitwise AND of these two numbers, the value will be 1 0 is 0, 0 0 is again 0, but 1 1 is 1. Okay, so it is 4, actually it is 4. So the condition becomes false, and this number is not the power of 2, which is true. Okay, n is not 5 is not the power of 2. Now let's take another example. Let's say the value of n is 3. Okay, so 3 in the binary can be written as 0 1 1, and 3 minus 1, that is 2, is 0 1 0, right? And if I take AND of these two numbers, then 1 0 is 0, 1 1 is 1, and 0 0 is 0. So here the output is not 0. Okay, so the condition becomes false and n is not the power of 2. So this is the basic approach, and here the time complexity is O of 1. Okay, the complexity is O of 1. So let's write the code for it. So we just have to input any number, let's say n, right? And we will check this condition, n and n minus 1. If this value is 0, then in that case we will simply print yes, and if this value is not 0, we just have to print no. Okay, now let's run this. So let me compile this first. Now if I run this, okay, so if I input 4 here, the answer is yes. If I input 7, answer is no. Let's say 1024, which is the power of 2, it is yes. Then let's say 100, it is no. 40, no. 16, yes. Okay, so this is how you can code this to check whether the number is power of 2 or not. Okay, and the complexity is O of 1. So that's it for this video. Thank you.